Okay, so that's sitting in the hydrogen peroxide water mix for a little while. And we'll look at the roots. But here, this looks a little better. So I'm gonna go ahead and pot this up. All right, so I think I'm ready to put this in there. Let's clean this off a little. Take this extra stuff off. This cupria is truly a work of beauty, isn't it? When the new leaves come in, which is the newest one, it's just so beautiful. Anyway, let's get right to this. We're going to use some of the Myco on these roots too. Great white. Michael Chores, is that how you pronounce it? Chores. I didn't put a lot. Okay. And this has been rinsed. And it is sitting in a little bit of peroxide as well. Get rid of anything funky. So, and put this back in here. When I go to Goodwill, I find these things for really cheap. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on glass vessels. I tried looking at Michael's or one of those places once. And I said, no, I'm better off just going. You can use anything. You can use glasses and I want to take my glove off. I'm curious to see. Yeah, so this DIY pond is holding nicely to the water. I wanted to feel it, see how moist it was from the other day from when I rinsed it all off. I'm thinking this one's going to need a repot real soon. And I think I do have something bigger, but let's just do this for now. And we'll see on the next go round. There's another one done. I'm going to get a bamboo stick and just kind of push some of that down. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. So when I put it in the, here are the roots. What do you think? I think they look pretty good. I got rid of the part that was rotting. Pretty sure. Leave it in there for a little while longer. So if there's anything funky happening, hopefully the peroxide will take care of that. All right, And these babies are going to get, some of them look a little, I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this. I hope they're not dehydrated, but what do you think? We'll see what happens. I got enough here to start like another pot. And they grow like a weed, so I'm not really worried. So I finally got my mic situation straightened out. The last set of mics I bought used to make me sound, I don't know, a little unnatural, like very weird sounding. I hated it. And I wasn't using a mic, but I said finally the other day I need to get a decent one. I got another pair and I'm liking this, so I may order another set just as a backup so that when it decides to die on me, I'm ready for it. Okay, what else did I want to share with you? Let me see. There was something else I wanted to take care of. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back with one of the problem children, Lakia Makayana. I've had this one sitting in my bathroom, and then I moved it out into the living room, but I think I forgot to water it and I already see the crispy edges on these leaves. So I decided I want to get it out of here. What I did with my lemon lime maranta a while back, if I can find the footage, I'll include a clip of it. A while back, I had taken it, put it in water to transition it to pond. So now it's in pond in a self-watering pot, and it's doing fine. Now I just moved it because it wasn't doing the little prayer action. So I moved it to a brighter room and she's praying again. Hallelujah. So I'm taking that as a good sign. So she's doing okay. I want to see if her leaves start sizing up. And I also have another one that's still in its soil. So what I want to do is take those two, get them out of soil, put them in some water. I'm going to transition them gradually. And then put them, this one will go back into this pot, I think, but I'm going to use a wicking rope so that it's dangling down into the reservoir since it doesn't sit all the way in there. And then we'll see. I might use the leca. I think I will. I'm not going to waste the leca. I'm going to use that. Let's try it in leca and see what happens with this one. Yeah, and then being that it's going to be sitting inside here. Anyway, let's take care of that. No, before we do this, I'm going to go ahead and pot up the Croniana. I don't want it. I want it to settle in. So I decided, where's the little pot that I'm going to use? What did I do with it? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go with this size. Considering this root ball, and I know how fast this grows, I'm going to go with this size instead of this size. For the newbies, I'll put them in here. And it may be more than one. I'm going to chop that up a little bit more and stick them in with some pins and just do what I said earlier. Let's get to it. These have come in very handy, these little nets or screens, like little pieces of screening material that keeps the pond from going through the holes. So that on the bottom. get it to fit. Sometimes I cut it down to size, might as well. So it sits right for me. Honestly, you can do this yourself. Just go buy a roll of screen from like Lowe's or Home Depot. If you want to take the time to cut them to the shape of the pot, you can do that. I need to go and get some screen material because I want to do something with my old little greenhouse that I had out on the deck last year. I'm going to take some of that to shade the plants a little bit better when I set that up outside, because they get a little bit of afternoon sun and it can be intense in the heat, and I almost burned a few plants. So I'm going to try to shade the inside a little bit better for the plants to protect them. Okay, maybe I filled up too much of that. Let's pour that back. Yeah, I like the way this feels. It's not too bulky, especially for plants like this with these kind of fine roots. Let's give it a little boost. And then get this baby in her new home. I'll keep you guys updated, see how she takes to the new substrate. Sit that a little higher. I know a lot of people like using cocoa coir and the cocoa chips for Hoyas, but the problem is once these Hoyas start growing and getting heavy on the top heavy, they can fall out of those mediums very easily. So usually when I get any Hoyas in that kind of substrate, I usually just transfer them to pond instead of waiting for that to happen. I mean, it can tip over in pond as well, but pond does weigh it down a little bit, in my opinion. Like this feels nice and solid and looks good. Here she is in her new home, and where's that peduncle? It's such a tiny little peduncle. Can you see that? You should have seen the beautiful flower that it gave me. It's funny that that happened, and then right after that was when we got into trouble. So I know people have suggested to water your Hoya more when it's blooming, but maybe I did the plant in. I caused that problem because I was maybe over watering. I don't know. So that one's done. And these guys I will do after. Let me put them over here. And let's just clean this up a little. All right, so I got most of this dirt off. And yeah, it looks like that peat mossy type thing. Yeah, hopefully she'll make it. Give her a little soak as well. Matter of fact, let's just soak her right in here. since there is already some of this in here. I think I have to pour some out though. It's going to be too full. Let's see. Be right back. You might hear me go down and fall. I got so much on the floor here. Should I use some of this in there? Oops, I didn't even use that much. Okay. What other plants do you think I should try? My DIY pot mix on. I'm going to use it for just about everything I can manage to get. All right, I think that's enough. Looks pretty. So here is day one after just going for it. What's the worst that can happen? It could die, I know. We don't want it to, but there's always that possibility. All right, and there's a little bit of water in there right now. I'm not gonna fill it up too much because it's been watered very well. All right, so I think that is it. I am gonna start these little babies in their own little pots. After I clean this up, I want to rinse them too, just to make sure there's nothing on the leaves. This unfortunately is not going to make it, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I decided to use Fluval because I feel like Fluval really helps to root these cuttings quickly. And I'll transfer it into pond later. I am recycling and reusing this stratum. Fluval. Yeah, Fluval stratum. Sorry. So there's one. Oh, look, that's a lot here. I like to cut them down to like 2 or 3 node cuttings. I didn't clean it off with right now. Wearing the gloves so I don't get all this sap on me. When you take this out of stratum, I suggest you let it dry up a little bit. It's much easier to get the stratum off the little baby roots. Guess I'm gonna chop back a little because I'm having trouble getting it to sit properly in here. I want to break the stem. Wow, look, another peduncle. I didn't realize that plant had several peduncles. So there's one on the original plant still, little tiny one, and these two healthy ones. God. Anyway, it should do okay. Don't worry. It is what it is. Like I said, I'm sure it'll give me more peduncles, more flowers. Just want to save the plant. So I'm not going to push this one too deep because I don't want to mess that peduncle up. And for those of you who don't know what a peduncle is, you'll get a flower from that little part of the plant. Okay, so look how nice, tight these little nodes are from one another. But I gotta get rid of some of these leaves. This is still going to be cut. I want to get this in there first. And then let's chop another part of this off. Push that down in there. And that's it. I'm not going to cut this anymore. So here we are. 3 babies, 2 that have peduncles. This looks like the healthiest peduncle on there. Can you see it? So yeah, I'm going to water these. And that's the end of my chores for now. Take care. Thanks for watching. If you hung in this long, I really appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, share the video, and like.